Oh, this wasn't for notes?
Nope, it's for activity. I almost said
Where is everyone?
I'm too excited. I don't know, but this is going to be an amazing one. Okay, good morning. How is everybody?
I would have some coffee.
I don't know if I believed that response. Let's try it again. How are we?
Yay!
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, we have a lot to go over, and this meeting's going to be a little different because it's going to be interactive, and I'm literally geeked to go through a couple of these activities that I learned while I was in Florida. Yep, sitting in Epcot with Disney. So it's going to be legit, and I'm so excited for all of it. But let's start with John.
All right, I'll try to be quick so you can get to your Disney World activities. One of the things I just want to keep warning you about, and I think I do it a lot, but I think it's important because we just got another complaint filed against us and by the MLS, and when the Northwest MLS files a complaint, it's, you know, kind of count on it being a minimum of $1,000 and up to about $5,000, especially with pre-marketing. That's what the complaint was for, is pre-marketing. Those are usually pretty high, so we want to be careful about that. But so this is Rule 2, and it's specifically C of the Rule 2C that says no promotion, advertising when the listing is not yet published. Right? If you got a listing. So the intent of this rule, because I had a long conversation with Northwest MLS, the intent of the rule is so that you know how you can have a listing signed by the seller, and then it's going to go on the market in 30 days or 20 days, whatever. And then between the time you have them sign it and the time it goes on the market, you're not allowed to market the property. That's called pre-marketing. That was the intent of the rules, to stop agents from doing that, because what they were doing was they were putting it later on the market time just so they could try to sell it themselves and get the full commission. You know, and so this rule is implemented for that purpose. Well, so under this rule, it says that you're not to promote or advertise in any way, and it goes through all the ways you could promote and advertise, which includes, of course, talking to someone about it, right? Technically, anything. So the complaint we just had was interesting because it was from somebody's personal website, you know, and for not personal, but business website for their real estate. And so she had put on there that she was aware of some for sale by owners, properties, and listed 3 properties that were for sale by owner that were going to be coming up and going to be listed pretty soon. So the MLS caught wind of that and brought this complaint, right? So then I get to get all involved there. So what I wanted to let you know is this was innocent thing. It was just, here's some properties that that are FSBOs right now that are going to get listed, and still a complaint was filed. Now I responded to it. I'm hopeful that it's going to get dismissed, right? I'm hopeful of that, but I don't know. So
in that situation, if that agent did say they're going to be listed and just said here's some FSBOs, would that have been okay? Or is it the next piece?
Yeah, in my conversation with them at the legal department, they said that if it's, they used an example. They said if there's a FSBO, for sale by owner, out there, and you mention the FSBO, and the source is another source for the FSBO, not just you. I said, what does that mean? It has to be on the MLS for FSBO's side or something, or what's the deal there? And they said, well, no, I mean, and I said, so let's say there's a FSBO out there that I'm aware of, and I talked to the FSBO, and I'm going to represent any buyers, maybe, but I'm not going to represent them. They said, oh, then you're fine. Fine. So a lot has to do, I think, with intent and representation of this. And so, you know, if you're going to represent any buyers interested in this FSBO, and you mention the FSBO, first of all, you shouldn't be doing that, because then you're, you know, you're telling everybody not something you're going to try to sell to your buyer, right? And now you might create competition for your own buyer, but that's not a violation. Violation is if I was going to be representing that seller, you know, listing the property, but now before I release it on the market, I'm promoting it. See? So I know there's a fine line there, but you just got, I mean, so I wanted to go over that intent of the rule, why it's there, how best to, you know, stay within the rules. Yeah.
Love some more clarity around, because I see this very often. People maybe posting a view or in the backyard or inside a house, just had a great listing appointment. I'm excited for what's to come. They don't mention the address or location. It's something as simple as that.
That's a violation.
That's a
Well,
Yeah, yeah. So I would definitely, I mean, it's like the nail in the coffin if you say the address or the
sure,
area or
sure.
whatever. But
I just see it very often. That's fun.
But some of those are, yeah, so we do want to be careful. That's why I bring it, I see them too. And I don't ever put a like on it when I see it.
Put a angry face.
I have a question though, and I feel like.
Yeah, if John angry faces your post, take it.
Oh my God. No, you're in violation.
Right, I feel like we've had a similar conversation previously. And what about when you have a listing, a signed agreement with a seller, but they want an off-market deal? How do you go about doing that?
You contact the Northwest MLS and ask them if there's a form you can have that seller
So that you
sign.
can still, okay.
You know, but I kind of think they're going to say that not for that situation.
Well, I mean,
But
and
it depends.
yeah, because there have been, I know the last time we kind of had a similar conversation about this, there were a handful of agents that said, I have sellers that don't want to go to market. They want to sell the house. We don't, it's too crazy.
Right.
They want to do it on the down low. They know that there's potential, leaving money on the table, but they don't want to go to market.
I'd say honestly call the MLS.
And put your, here's what I'm doing.
Yeah, and say, well, no, that's okay. You know, just
Yeah.
say, you know, I try to obey the rules, but I've got a seller who does not want this to go on the market. You know, so is there some way that I can go ahead and, you know, promote this the way they want me to promote it without violating the rules? And maybe, I think there's a form 7 something. Of course, the listing form 7, there's form 7 something. Plus, if you have a letter from them saying this is what we want, but check with them before you do it. I don't want anybody to get in trouble.
John, do they actually, they document those calls each time, don't they? Because they take your leg number, so it's kind of living a
Yeah.
paper trail that way.
That's all right. You're not doing anything wrong.
No,
You're
that's
just
right.
checking with them. So, yeah, they do. When you call in, they'll ask your lag number.
I've done that for people that are private, and there's a form, like you said, and basically it just goes to Keller Williams. It doesn't go out to the internet, to other agencies or in-house type listing. But there's a form, and then once the listing input form, you don't check the blogging, the internet, you just leave all those. You know. It automatically defaults that you want to have a blog, it goes to internet, it goes to Zillow, it goes to all those different places. Check no, and it's not supposed to go to Zillow. All those kind of things.
Right. So my suggestion also would be that if you see someone within our branch brokerage network system who's violating it, rather than call the MLS and turn them in, why don't you call that individual and say, you know, I see that you're doing a pre-marketing. I don't know if you know that's.
Was it KW person that told us?
I don't. I'm just saying.
I'm sure they don't report that.
What's that? They don't report what?
Reported calls.
No, they don't. I've already asked. What the heck? Leave me alone.
Okay, so I just wanted to, you know, put that out there for you to be thinking about, making sure you're not, you know, falling.
So what I hear you
susceptible
say,
to a
John,
fine.
if you've got any questions about a potential off-market or a unique situation, just reach out to the Northwest MLS.
Correct.
And not John.
Well, you can get my opinion. but- I mean, because
But
it
they
isn't,
will be-
there are some gray areas.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's some gray areas, so you're gonna want to run that by them. Sure.
I have a question. John, did you go over this? 'Cause I came in a little bit. There's restrictions there for the agent, but as a builder, they can just post whatever they want on their page, never release any information at all.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
so that's nice.
it's an,
Builders
ex-
pay the MLS.
yeah, it's an exception.
Right.
Yeah,
The builders get their own rules.
Crooked and all sorts of.
they've done certain exceptions for certain situations.
I forgot about this side, because I've had buyers, I'm sorry, not buyers, sellers who, as soon as we found out we were going to let the market and we made a decision, they're like on Facebook immediately. So they're telling all their friends and everything else, and that's okay.
That recently happened with me and somebody contacted me and so I was like, hey, take that down. And she said, as long as my name, my logo, I had nothing on her post, the seller's post, that it was okay.
Well, if the seller doesn't sell, that's the
Right.
business. But you don't want to be bound to it. Conflict of interest.
Okay.
Yeah, no tagging me.
You can attack.
Okay,
Bad face.
back to Disney World.
Crystal. come up there. Thanks, John.
Good job.
Yay, John.
Oh, how are we?
Hey.
So good. Good. Okay, this is the part where I turn off multiple views of my face because that's just a lot. All right, hi. Those are the people on Zoom. Say hi.
Just beautiful faces I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're super fun to look at.
There's only one.
All right, so I wanted to let you guys know about a resource that's been around for a while that all of our new agents know about, but it is accessible to all of our agents. And that is a Google Classroom of Command one-on-one training. So this is every new agent who joins our office goes through this process. This is available to put your admins through if that's something you're interested in. It's also available for you. If you are one of those people who didn't lean into command at the beginning, which I get, but are now interested in learning all the things, because I get a lot of calls that are teach me how to fill in the blank. There's a resource for that, so you can do it on your own time. I have to give you access to this Google Classroom, so you just got to shoot me an email and I will add you to it. You can access this on Google. Every Google page you have has this lovely, what I call the tic-tac-toe box in the top corner. And when you click it, it's got all of your apps. And at the very bottom of not this page, because I'm on the classroom, is a classroom button. And what this classroom has is it introduces you to the 6 major applets of command. And it's everything you need to know to run your business effectively. So it's going to walk you through how to set up your database. It's going to walk you through smart plans. It's going to walk you through campaigns. It's going to walk you through designs. It's going to walk you through 2 other things, your website and the one that I forgot. Yeah,
Are these videos that you did, or these are the videos from the?
most of these are videos I did. The first few are some Jason Abram videos that I think did a really good job of introducing the technology, and everything after that is my stuff. Yeah.
Did you say that we just email you to get the link to that?
Yeah, you email me and I have to add your KW email address to the classroom. You'll get an invite.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes,
Are you updating the videos as things update through command?
I would love to. I haven't yet. The reality is I tried to make them all as evergreen as possible. Nothing in here has changed much yet.
Okay.
There are some things I'd love to add.
Okay.
Cool. Any questions? Cool, love your faces.
One more slide.
Yep.
Stranger Things, it's like that everything.
Cool. Today is the very, very, very last day to sign up for the one thing. In fact, it's like the very last hour. I have to leave this room and go tell them my final numbers. So if you are interested in going, we would really, really love to have you. I do have a secret squirrel discount code I'm happy to share with you if you come and chat with me at the end of this meeting. We're going to have a great time. Everybody who went when we did this last has all reached whatever goals they set and then some. and are looking forward to building new goals. So if you're looking to actually accomplish the things, this is a great thing to do. Yes.
November and I are going, so it'll be definitely fun. And Randy and her husband.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this, but Pam mentioned it, in case you didn't know, it's not like real estate specific. So
No,
you can
not at
bring
all.
your spouses and talk about all of your goals. It doesn't have to be about real estate, so don't let that be kind of like a barrier.
And it's not just spouses. It's not a couples retreat this year. It's just a goal setting retreat. We have individuals going, we have business partners going, lots of different options. And we have a great time and it's on the water and the place is gorgeous and the food is great. It is March 11th through the 13th. So, and just, I've had some people ask, so I'll go ahead and let you know. That Friday is like evening show up. We're going to hang out. There's nothing specific happening that night. We kind of go most of the day Saturday and then a half day Sunday. So.
What time does it start on Saturday? You're coming. Is that what I heard you say? Yes.
Teresa's coming.
Yes, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Girl, that's okay. You're not
You're
Yeah.
I only have room for, I only have room for 5 more people. So
With the plus one? Or just
technically, yes, I can make room for 10. 5 more registrations. Let's put it that way. I have room for 5 more registrations. So
who's raising their hand?
thank you.
You said you gotta look like.
I do. I really have the next hour to get in. If you message me tonight, I'm gonna have to.
J-Lo's going.
Oh, shoot. Got it now.
Okay. That's all I had. I love you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Amazing. Where did my slide deck go? Oh, there we go. Okay, so how many of you guys in this room went to family reunion? Let's just share a really quick biggest aha, and then we're gonna jump into our activities, which I'm pretty geeked about. So biggest aha.
Well, we talked about this with our coach and, James, the one thing that we were gonna implement, what did I say? She put me on the spot. No, I can't remember what it was, but it was, come back.
All right, we'll circle back.
I don't remember.
Ready?
You only get to post if you're going downhill.
Ooh.
Yes,
Ooh.
I love that.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I never heard that.
That's
Was
good.
that an arm
That's
breakout?
Mine was the overwhelming, like, theme was be authentic, be yourself, because no one else can be you. And people want to work with people they love and trust and can relate to. So don't try to be someone else. It's as you're looking across and seeing all the business that other people are doing. They've got their thing just figured out.
That's what mine was.
All of that.
That's what it was.
Ditto, ditto.
Oh,
Mackenzie. No, we can't steal like that. What's yours?
Well, since they took all the good ones, I'm gonna go with the systems one, database. Refine. And hold. Database that works for you.
Yep, that database. Okay. Who else has ahas that went or attended virtually that you got some great takeaways from? Nobody?
So I was in the solo annual one, and the first day they talked about agents or agents, like workers reinvesting in themselves. And so that was the big thing on the first day, reinvesting in themselves. They had one lady she's from Germany. She came to the United States with $750. She now has like over 50 doors on her own. So she was reinvesting in herself. So that was the big thing.
I like that. I have 2. I'm going to cheat. One, the last 2 years, we as humans have aged faster than we have since the Great Depression. And I feel like I've got gray hair, you guys. Not good. Not a good look. And 2, did you know productivity increases 31% when we're happy? 31%. I'm like, that's killer. So that's kind of what our activity is going to go into is how do we bring creativity and fun back into our businesses? Because how many of you guys are kind of maybe a little bit tired of talking about numbers? We have days, right? What about lead gen? Let's be honest, right?
Oh, yeah.
We all go over that, but what we don't bring is the creativity and the fun. So we're going to do a couple activities and I want you guys to participate at a high level so you guys get the the results we're looking for. Okay, so I want you guys to buddy up and find a partner. Does everybody have a partner?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Okay. Okay, everybody have a partner? Okay, clap once if you can hear me. Perfect. I want the shortest person in the group is going to be the one that's interviewing and asking questions. Okay? And I want the other partners, you have created a parachute for elephants. So we have one interviewer who's going to be the shortest person in the group. You're asking questions, and the other person you're interviewing has created a parachute for elephants. And I want you guys to go back and forth as fast as you can with your questions and your responses. We're going to go for a minute. Go. Clap once if you guys can hear me. How'd you guys do? Different, right? Okay, show of hands. How many of you guys would call yourselves creative? Didn't you guys just make up a whole fairy tale about an elephant and a dang parachute? And we had like 4 people raise their hands about being creative?
You made it up, but we.
But you jumped with it, right? That's creative. So my wife used to run a preschool, and I guarantee you, if those tiny tots were in this room and we asked them if they're creative, every single little hand would be up, right? What I absolutely loved about all of this is how much laughter I heard. Kids laugh 300 to 400 times a day. Guess how many times an adult laughs? 17.5%. Or 17.5 times a day. That's it. 300 and 400 for a kid. 17 and a half for an adult.
That's 4 times I laugh.
300 to 400 times a day for a kid. 17 and a half for adults.
That I laugh.
That laugh. Okay, so my next question for you guys, and we're gonna write it down, is I want to hear about where you guys find yourself being the most creative, right? So the example we use is how many times have we gotten in an argument with a spouse or a parent, and we walk away and 2 minutes later we have the best comeback. But we didn't in that moment, right?
Never.
So never, right? Never. So where do you guys find yourselves when you have the best thoughts? Throw it out there.
In the shower.
Yep. What else?
By myself.
In the shower.
You mean like the happy thoughts or the best thoughts?
Your best thoughts. You're like, that's a stroke of genius.
When I'm driving.
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Driving.
I actually cut the wall, but I get
When I'm
like.
supposed to be working on something else.
Yeah.
What?
When I'm supposed to be working on something else.
Yeah.
Distracted.
You didn't put your.
Those I just don't count.
I drink my water. Someone else said outdoors.
Yeah, me too. Actually, when I'm cleaning my barn, it's a thing. Go with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, true that. I'm at the gym.
Or when you're cleaning.
Yeah.
Cleaning, yep,
Right before sleep.
right
Oh,
before
right.
sleep, yep.
You mean right before you don't go to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Always go to
That
sleep. Women.
Okay, can we quickly make a note that I think everything on this board is spelled correctly? So thank you very much. Thank you. So what do you guys see that's all the same with these?
A lot of it's
By
solo.
yourself.
So our best thoughts, our stroke of genius comes from the part of our brain called the alpha. And it's where we're not focused on one specific thing. That's why when we walk away from something and we're in the moment and there was energy or a heated conversation, it's not until we step away and we're talking about or we're physically doing something else that our best comebacks hit home. And that's why when we're doing these activities, our alpha, that part of our brain is resonated to start thinking, right? So Chris, for you right before bed, it might be a good idea if you have a notebook right next to your bed. So if you wake up and you have your ideas or right before you go to bed, you're writing it down.
Oh, I should clarify, nothing interesting comes with what you have.
These are good ideas.
Good idea, yes. How many, so what do you guys think are the barriers for creativity?
Stress.
Stress, okay. What is it?
Don't need silence.
I don't think there's a huge barrier for me for creativity. I think there's a barrier for the execution.
Yes.
Good
Thank
point.
you. That's
Good point.
Jackie.
So the top barriers for creativity is we don't give ourselves time to think.
Yeah.
We schedule in time for just about every doggone thing, right? Most of us have really pretty, beautiful, color-coded calendars. How many of us have literally put in time to think?
Oh, no, there's no time.
Right, nonsense, nonsense. What's the other barrier, do you guys think?
Mindset, maybe, like, do I need this? to be successful?
Allowing yourself. to.
Yeah, yes, it's yourself. It's our biggest self. So you guys have papers in front of you. I want you to draw
Oh, I need to-
9 dots.
I made that.
Put the TikTok.
Oh, it's like.
Oh,
I was
all
thinking
right,
I ran
yeah.
randomly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go circle,
And
right?
4 lines, get all the dots.
Yes, but not yet. November, pull your jets.
What is this? I've seen it and I don't know how to do it.
Okay, so put your pencils down. I want you with your brains.
But I haven't done it yet.
I gotta get this done.
Okay. Let me know when you guys are all done drawing these beautiful dots. Are we there?
Yes.
Does it look good? Because we're creative. Okay, so you don't have to draw it, but I want you guys to execute 4 straight lines.
4 straight lines.
Yep.
Can they touch? Can they overlap?
Without lifting your
Just-
pen, right?
Yeah, without lifting your pen. Drop
And connecting all the dots?
4 straight lines.
I think the creativity is actually how we alter.
You're not wrong.
I'm lifting my pin, but we're gonna pretend we're not.
Or. Let me think.
What's the price?
I'm not seeing a lot of lines, you guys.
How many did we get?
I know it has to go.
What?
We can't pick up our pins, right?
Yeah, you can pick up your pens now.
Oh, you can?
Wait, we're not done yet.
You said mentally.
4 lines. If you want to do it in your head, you can. If you want to do it on paper, that's.
What is the
Chris,
price?
are you saying?
I know.
Yeah, see, so I.
You're gonna wanna make.
I'm gonna do it my way then.
Okay, 20 more seconds for 4 straight lines. Just 4.
I mean, they're not straight.
Oh, I know.
They're just the same.
Wait, we're allowed to pick up a pen or not?
No.
I don't think we're supposed to be asking so many questions.
4 straight
No,
lines.
you don't like me, but I did it.
She actually said.
Just draw.
Okay, we're done. No offense, but I think most of you failed.
No.
Okay. Did we, how many of you guys drew 4 straight lines? How many of you guys drew 4 straight lines in the little box that we drew?
Like within it?
How many of your guys' lines were a part of that?
Oh.
Wait, what'd you say?
She didn't say connect the dots. She didn't say they had to be on the dots at all. She said 4 straight lines.
Right.
Oh, I
I
connected
got
all the
that. I was
dots.
just thinking.
Who put those barriers front of you guys.
November. I did.
How often does that happen though? We create such limitations in our thoughts because of the perspective of which we're looking at it. Because I asked you guys to draw 9 random dots on a paper, you assumed that it had something to do with the 4 lines. But that wasn't shared, right? I didn't put any rules in place for that.
You did though, you told us what order we had to do the dots. I wanted to do my dots in a circle.
That was the one thing I gave you and you're upset? Come on, dude.
You said.
It's okay, I'll put it back.
But we had an entire,
Conversation all over again.
we had an entire piece of paper. How many of you guys filled the dots with the whole paper? How many of you guys, as soon as you drew your dots, your brain went to a square? That was a thought that you guys had. Yep. And then as soon as we asked you to do the lines, where did your brain go? All over the place, right? But it goes back to our perspectives and how with our thinking, we're automatically, your brain goes to something that it can connect to, that you have an experience behind, right? Because that's how our brain works. We can only fire off so many thoughts and opinions, but we've limited ourselves based on what we think somebody else wants and put ourselves in boxes, just like you guys tried to do with 4 lines in a box, right? One more activity. We're all real estate agents. We know what a house looks like, right?
You didn't do it.
Done.
But you picked up your marker.
She didn't say it.
She didn't say that.
That was me.
One more activity. One more activity.
Now I'm gonna have to come back for November.
How many of you guys know what a house looks like?
We all do.
I don't see a lot of hands. Do we know what houses look like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. You guys have a minute. I want you to draw a house.
No, man.
What, is it your modern or?
Up to you, Bill. Up to you.
Yeah, but then you're like, but that's what you think the house looks like. Just wherever your house.
Draw your house, November. Draw your house.
No, you're gonna do it. You're gonna say it.
15, yeah. Make sure you
I just
quantify how many rooms.
Wait, 1,000? No.
Are you done, Jay?
I'm also just gonna do that.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, we got some shrubs.
Okay, those are just for you. Lindy, there's your paper. I just used the dots. So that-
Recycling.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I'm all about.
I'm a fan.
I love the dots, but I didn't like that.
Okay. All right. Everybody look at your partner's drawing.
Beautiful. I also decided to scratch it out.
I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. So I
We have enough.
I'm really.
It has a door, it doesn't have a leak.
I don't know.
I literally don't know.
Okay. One clap if you can hear me. How many of you guys have a front door? Nice, we can get in the house. How many of you guys have 2 windows? How many of you guys added landscaping? How many of you guys just simply drew a square and a triangle? I like it. It's mine.
We have to start some stairs though.
That's mine.
That's
From
from
the
the
top.
top.
It's from the top. Right? So this activity, so have you guys ever heard of a naive expert? A naive expert.
No.
We're all professionals in real estate, right? We all know what a house looks like. So what would it look like if, when you guys are talking about maybe growing in your marketing, in your social media, in your lead gen activities, to bring in an outside brain, meaning they're not an expert in our industry, to hear what they have to say? Because if we ask someone random outside of our industry to draw a house, it's probably going to look a little different, right? Because they're going to look at it from a different perspective. And that naive expert is going to be able to bring a voice and an influence that's going to be able to add creativity and fun in a way that we can't think about our businesses. So, what would it look like if we could start doing brown paper bag lunches with no expectation other than shooting the breeze and throwing out ideas with each other? I think it'd be really fun because we're going to hear things and hear perspective and ideas that we wouldn't have if we just continue doing the same activity and hearing from the same voices and thoughts for our businesses. We're not going to be growing. Diversity is going to allow a lot more creativity into our businesses. And I don't know about you guys, but this is the most laughs I've heard in a business meeting since I've been here. It's fun and it's refreshing and it feels good, right? So how can we take our perspective for our businesses and just tweak it a little bit? And what can we add and who can we add to get our businesses to the next level in a way that's not mundane and being the same, conversation over and over again? So it was just a different way to look at it and something that we haven't really processed or thought about before. And bringing creativity and happiness and fun in, like I said at the beginning of this, 31% increase in productivity. By laughing and enjoying what we're doing at a high level, that sounds pretty good to me, right? So it's just another way for us to be able to look at what classes can we go to, who can we bring into our conversation to add another perspective to our business and how we do it. What are your guys' thoughts and ahas with all this? Jay.
I like to be happy, so.
Me too, man. Me too. Speaking of that, on the 7th, we're going to be, are we starting with vision? The vision, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to be streaming the vision speech from Gary Keller from Family Reunion. And then we're also going to be having the same time frame, probably in a week or so after, we're going to be doing the keynote speaker. That's Sean, and he writes books on happiness.
And we're doing a panel.
And an agent
on
panel.
Monday.
Yep. So we're going to keep moving this forward throughout the month so we can keep putting it in front of you guys for those that weren't able to attend, so you guys can still get all of the solid ahas and takeaways. And then keeping this kind of concept in front of us. For Gary Keller to bring in a keynote speaker to just discuss happiness in front of his entire company is telling to me, and I don't know a lot of other companies that would choose a platform like that to talk about the word happy. And so that's something that I want to make sure we're carrying down into all of us as well, so that we get that same effect. Because I don't know, the last 2 years have been a little rough. Gray hair, remember? Not fun, aging really fast. So what can we do to make sure that we're being really intentional at taking care of ourselves and bringing things into our business in a way that we've never looked at it before? And one of those is fun and creativity. Jill, anything else you guys want to go over regarding this? Okay, so Sean is the author. He's actually written 3 books. We'll watch the video and the keynote speaker, but I do think you guys should read those. We'll get those posted on our intranet so you guys can see what they are. But the dude's happy as all get out, and he doesn't not smile. So he's a fun one to kind of learn from. All right, let's pivot. Let's go into announcements. Thank you for playing along with me too, by the way, you guys. I appreciate it. I just love the laughs. Made me happy. Okay, KW school. Summer just attended a breakout. Was it today? You're going to keep talking. Finish what you were going to say. A breakout about new changes. Do you know what those
I do, but we're not gonna talk
I
about those
attended that
today.
yesterday with Summer.
Anything that we need to share with the group?
Not particularly, just make sure that we are still using the pre-created content and verbiage from case for regarding stuff.
Yes. And I haven't asked for you guys. When you guys have someone raise their hand or you know someone that's interested in this, can you also help them understand that we have to have a conversation? It's not like Rockwell. There's not a link that we can give you for them to register. Summer and Brian, who's our assistant, has to have a conversation with them and get them registered. And that is during business hours. Real estate school is still going to be there, the following week or whatever. So it's not like it's going to go away, but please be respectful of us being able to get in front of them and provide this, because it's free to them, but it costs the market center money. And there's steps that we have to have in place. So when you guys do have someone that you want to put in front of them, just let them know. Summer's going to be on top of it with Brian, and it could be a couple days till you hear. And that's to be expected. Okay, so we're setting everybody up for success with that. Yeah, how many of you guys enjoy healthcare and insurance?
Enjoy
having it.
Yeah.
Keller Williams now offers health insurance. It was rolled out or announced during Family Reunion. It's something that I think you guys should all look into. The website is KW Perks.
Just for agents only.
Agents only. Yep. So what I want you guys to be mindful of is financially, I'm not sure they're working on it for the state of Washington, but be mindful that it's an all-in-one, meaning there's dental, vision, and health rolled into this. So that's something to factor in when you guys start getting your quotes and start looking into it. So just keep that in mind. But there's some things that we're working on to continue making it better, but it's amazing that we can provide this for you guys. Jackie.
This may be something you know or not. Typically, you can only change your healthcare plan during an open enrollment or
Yeah, my
something
brain
else,
went there
something,
too.
a life change, life event. Thank you. Do you know if this is something we need to look at for next year? I guess is the question.
No, my brain went there too with that question. I don't have an answer for it at this time.
I see on there enroll when it's convenient,
I
so it
did
makes
look.
me think.
Since it's a new product, it might be a life event.
But
I
can you
don't
cancel?
Your
Your other is the question.
That's the thing, is I don't think you can get out of your Washington state,
Yeah.
whatever right now.
Yeah.
You can if you just don't pay.
Yeah,
Truth.
Trust me on that one. Positive on that.
But this is a big ad. I know insurance when we're at 1099 can always be a pain. So it's fun that we can provide this for you guys. Mega Age of Camp, August 23rd to the 24th. How many of you guys have been to Mega Camp? How many of you guys went to the OG Mega Camp? The OG, where it was literally like leadership isn't even invited to this.
Right.
So they're going back to the classes where it's really talking to the top of the room. It's going to be really high level, and the classes are very targeted towards higher production. So I'm excited that they're going back, bringing the old and making it new again. But that's going to be August 23rd to the 24th with tickets available now. And that's always in Austin, which is really hot at that time. So drink water. Were you talking on this?
Yeah, again, I had something else I wanted to talk about as well, if that's all right.
Plug in at the same time?
Yeah. Oh, you can. I don't know. I'll sit. Then I know everyone can see my beautiful face. So we talked about it a few times. There's a couple courses, The Color of Real Estate and The Unconscious Bias in Real Estate. I think the last time I made an announcement, they had just released a new specialty accreditation. And I can never remember the name of it. Do you remember, Ben?
Agent of distinction.
This is why we're married. Agents of Distinction. So they just released registration for it during family reunion. These two courses are both free, but they are a prerequisite to taking this other course for your Agent of Distinction. It is going to be 5 modules that you take it. It costs $299. And I think the whole premise behind it is obviously to learn more, to get out of your comfort zone, because we all think that we understand and we have an idea, but you don't. You really don't unless you're actually in those people's shoes. So going to it and trying to gain an understanding and a knowledge will obviously help you with your business and your life and your friends and everybody you meet. So it would mean a lot to me if you guys even just took these 2 courses, which I said are for free. But also it should mean a lot to you. Because like I said, there's been a lot of talk over the past couple of years about wanting to support the communities and wanting to learn and wanting to be a part of it. But I've not seen a lot of action, and I'm sure everybody has as well. And my feeling, I can't speak for everybody else, is that passion, that determination and that drive to have those conversations and to get uncomfortable has kind of petered out as we've gotten closer and closer to normalcy. And we can't let that happen. So did you have a question?
Just that this repeats every month.
This does.
Just
So
on
it
these
is free.
dates, yeah.
Yes, these are free courses that do repeat every month. And something else exciting outside of this is you see this beautiful lady, Julia Lachey. I've actually been able to connect with her directly, and I'm in talks of getting her here into our region to have these conversations and to teach class. So I would really, really love your guys' feedback, because I'm going to be posting a couple of polls on our intranet page asking like, who's willing to step up and be part of this when she comes? What is it that you're wanting to gain out of it? So I can tailor what we're going to make the event, where we're going to host it, because depending on how many people, obviously we might need a bigger venue. And so I need your guys' engagement to get back with me so that we can get her here and really, really have a really deep conversation about it. Question?
Can you repeat what the final course is called? Agent
of Distinction. So it's $299. They just opened registration over family reunion, but you do have to take both of these free classes as a prerequisite to get that.
what an amazing thing, right? To be able to tell somebody, hey, obviously I don't 100% understand, but I've taken these things and to understand how to speak and to make that person feel connected and welcomed. It's a big difference saying it versus actually going out and learning about it. So that's it. Keep your eyes peeled for those polls.
And those are central times. I think it's noon here.
Yeah. Yeah, so jump on that. I'll be taking the unconscious bias, because I haven't taken that one yet, coming up here at the end. Yeah, sweet. That's all I've got. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. James Shaw, yeah, he's gonna be teaching the SHIP workshop. It's gonna be online March 9th and 10th. Is that 10 to 12 our time?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's what I meant. It was a test, the test. And then we've got the Guru's class, the 41113.
What was that?
Oh, just kidding.
10 to 2.
We've got John's class. I love that he's starting to break out and do special classes regarding the nuances. We've got the off-market condominiums and manufactured.
Are those being recorded?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Where are they being stored?
YouTube channel. I
That's a
mean,
good
I have
question.
on the past two,
Cool.
but I think I have the land one on.
And that's the pride forward, right? Or whatever.
Well,
The YouTube?
it's changed name to RBH.
Oh, perfect. That's YouTube.
Do we have space for people still for this?
Yes,
Okay,
we do.
so Guru's gonna be going back to teaching his class, the 411135. We're gonna have that scheduled before family reunion. We bumped it back. Got a couple spots still open, and that's gonna be March 3rd. Yes. Bringing agent financials taught with the ranches. It's gonna be March 29th from 12 to 4 here. Is that gonna be that's a hybrid, right?
Yes.
Okay. So in person and then via Zoom if needed. Another solid class to be taking. This is a class that you guys should take on repeat, by the way. That's what we got. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for playing along with me
Real quick,
today. Yes.
we do have a March of Diapers
Yes.
campaign for the month of March. There are boxes at each office to donate diapers for those in need. Just throw them in the box and we'll get them collected. Yes.
We have a pretty graphic we can share with our clients.
Yes, there is. We can get that on the internet. Thank you.
I now have only 4 spots available for the one thing, so if
Woo,
you want to
fill it
come see
up.
me.
Make it happen. All right, that's all we got. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.